PFL debut incoming this weekend, Saturday, August 22nd in Tampa. Javid Basharat. Javid, how we doing, man? Happy fight week.
Good, good, good. Everything's good. I'm happy that I'm fighting regularly. The last few years has been one fight a year, and it's not good enough. Been wanting to be more active. So yeah.
And this PFL signing, was that a part of it that they said, hey, we can get you more fights, you can be more active?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every fighter wants to fight. Otherwise, what's the point fighting? This job is too hard just training, only training. You know what I mean? You want to have the glorious moments too. You want to be able to risk it all. And fighting once a year. I don't know why that was even a thing for me in the UFC. But it seems like I think they were offering me fights during Ramadan, and obviously in Ramadan, like my manager doesn't even like ask because I can't fight during Ramadan. It's just not possible. But it's like 3 years in a row, And also remember, if you I think for one of the fights I got injured because they rescheduled my fight a week later, randomly, and I got injured in that week where I was supposed to be fighting, And then they put you on they they bench you for like 6 months, And it's like, bro, the injury would have been done in 2 months. I could have fought, but so like 6 months off and then 6 months benched. That's a year. We're losing valuable time here.
Now, along with activity, what else about PFL was alluring? Like, why choose PFL to sign with?
Well, they seem to be like, first of all, I feel like their bantamweight roster doesn't get enough credit. They have a lot of tough competitions. The thing about MMA fans and like MMA media sometimes is they don't understand quite the value of certain fighters. But all the fighters do because we all train with each other.
Right.
You understand? So like, especially in American Top Team or like even in Las Vegas, like we cross train sometimes, and some of the best guys in the room are not all from the UFC. They're from all over the world, and just depending. A lot of the UFC have a lot of numbers, and they have a lot of great fighters, but like the top 5 region and all of that, they're very similar all across the board. That's why you get sometimes a debut guy in the UFC, they go on a 4-fight win streak and get the title. Do you think they got massively better when they got to the UFC? No, they were good fighters everywhere, but it's just they know how to market very well.
And then like
so
a
that was
week
one of the
after.
reasons, and another. Yeah, sorry. So that was one of the reasons. Another reason was the activity, like we touched upon, and just a new report, a new start.
Now, with this PFL, I don't need to know how much money, but are they paying you well? Like, how many fights is this deal?
Yeah, they're paying good. The deal is 4 fights. So yeah, they're paying well. It's still my first fight with them. So we're just looking to progress. But my thing was more activity. If you get, for example, in the UFC or like anywhere you go, when you sign a 4-fight deal, you have to have those 4 fights. But if those 4 fights takes 4 years, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if they're paying you 100,000 a fight, you can make that money in a year if you with activity. You know what I'm trying to say? But if you make 100,000 in 2 years, it's not so appealing.
Now, a week after you signed with PFL, I mean, they announced this big MVP merger. Was this something you knew going in, or was this just like a pleasant little surprise?
No, so I had signed way before that.
I guess it was announced like a week or two before.
Yeah, announced a week, and I had no idea. No, the MVP thing. That was a complete surprise to me. I knew something big was going to happen because their deal with ESPN was going to finish.
Right.
And there's just no way that MMA, like PFL, was just going to fold. It's too big of an organization and too many good fighters there. Like, their product is really good, So there was just no way I didn't think that they were going to get a new deal. But then the MVP thing came about, and I was like, whoa, that's a surprise.
Might be fighting on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe ESPN will care more about the PFL now.
Right.
Because I remember the CEO talking about this.
Yeah, John Martin.
Yeah, he was talking about like how the ESPN is so hard to find, and he's the CEO. Like nobody's gonna be more motivated to watch the PFL fights than he is, and even he was struggling, like skipping through channels, and that's absolutely correct. Like I had the same issue sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm glad John Martin said he's going to get that all fixed because the fans
And,
deserve to watch these fights.
yeah,
And Javid,
that was actually another reason. I really like the way John Martin thinks.
he's a
I've
good
been
dude.
seeing some of his interviews, and I like the way he seems like he's really interested in the game.
And then before I ask you about this fight, just to clarify a few things about UFC, did they like cut you or was your contract up? How did that go down?
I'm not going to speak about this now because it was really messy, honestly.
Oh, really?
One day I'll speak about it, but this is the first time I'm talking about it. But it was like one of the messiest things. But because my opponent missed weight, so it was my last fight in my contract.
Yep.
My opponent missed weight by 5 pounds, and then there's a couple of things that happened behind the scenes, and it was just super messy. When it happened, I didn't even know what to make of it. But it was, in a way, I didn't even care because honestly, like it was nothing really in my control. A lot of like miscommunication, and yeah, it was just one of those. It was a weird thing. Maybe I'll go into detail with it later, but right now I don't really have all the facts myself, so that's why I don't want to speak too much about it. But yeah, it was they decided not to re-sign, and that was it.
I was at that last
But
fight of yours in the
yeah,
Apex.
yeah,
So
yeah, dude,
I-
like that was because one of the reasons it was messy was because I was so sick that whole week. Like it wasn't a fight, wasn't even gonna, like I didn't even know if I was even gonna fight because I didn't even have an opponent. You know what I
they
mean?
got
And
you
then
on like 2 days out, right?
yeah, 2 days out, but honestly, they must have known 2 weeks before that I didn't know because I heard rumblings of some Mexican. I didn't know the guy's name. Obviously, they know me because I'm in the UFC, but I don't know them because they're not. And then he missed his weight bro, the whole situation was so messy. I don't even know what to make of it.
Well, a lot of times guys get released or not re-signed from the UFC, and they're super upset and all that. I don't feel like that's the vibe here. I feel like you're not too upset here, and you're more so looking forward to, like you said, the activity and more fights.
No, no. Look, fighting in the UFC was great. You get to fight against the best fighters in the world. Their promotion and their what's it called, the PR team is like very good, and they can push you. They can push your brand and whatever. But I don't see the PFL not being able to do that. Also, they have great competition, great fighters. Now with this MVP merger more so than ever, the money is not worse. So what is there to be upset about?
Totally agree, man. I think this is a
You know what I
great,
mean?
great new opportunity for you, and as a fan,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be watching. And first up, Movsar Ibrahimov. Any thoughts on him? Any like have you ever seen him fight before or anything like that?
Yeah, so I never saw him before he got offered to me, but I did watch his fights, and yeah, he's a very good fighter. He's obviously one of the better guys. I think he's like IMF European champion, and like
Hmm.
like he's medaled in world and all of that. Like he doesn't have as many professional fights, but he has a lot of amateur fights. And in MMA, like amateur and professional, they're very similar. You know what I mean? It's just the time limit is different. Um, but yeah, he's a good opponent, solid opponent. But I don't really focus too much on the opponent. I know my level, I know my skills. If I go out there and do what I need to do, that's all I need.
Well, what kind of fight are fans in store for your PFL debut? Any idea how this thing goes down?
Always, I'm always in an exciting fight. No matter what people say, I'm in an exciting fight. You're gonna see some striking. You're gonna see wrestling. You're gonna see grappling. It's gonna be exciting. And Movsar in this bantamweight division, most of the time is they're all exciting fights.
Hmm.
Just because like sometimes you don't get that highlight reel finish or whatever because we're sometimes smaller guys, but they're always exciting fights. Like throughout 15 minutes, there's always gonna be action. We're too small for things to be stagnant. There's always something happening.
Now, this doesn't have to be smack talk. It can if you want it to be, but any message you want relayed to Movsar before the fight.
No, no message. Just be ready. You know, we're gonna have a fight. And that's it.
Love it, man. 1-0 in the PFL with a big win here. Sounds like you want another fight this year. You don't want to wait till the MVP merger next year.
No, no, no. At worst, like, because remember Ramadan's in February, so
Right.
I might not be able to get two in before Ramadan, but at worst January the latest. You know, like,
Yeah.
but December, no, even November is fine. Also remember, like, I don't want to think too far ahead.
Sure.
I'm fighting this guy, and I got my hands full with him, so uh, we can fight there. You know, we can find out how this fight goes, and hopefully injury free. I want to be active.
Now, what are your overall thoughts on this PFL bantamweight division? Like, do you have any fighter who you think is clearly the best?
No, there's a couple of tough guys. You know, there's man like one of the guys I train with, Samarjan Hamidov.
Oh, I didn't even know
He's
you guys trained together.
Yeah, he's an American top team. He's 18-1 or something. Like, he's one of the best fighters in the world. You know, there's another guy I don't really know his name, but he's like 17-0. You know, there's Tiger Magomedov who has a win over Piotr Yan, uh, who's the bantamweight champ right now, and there's so many guys. You know, there's Pettis obviously. There's a lot of top guys. There's a lot of top guys. You know, and I believe. I don't. Nobody really stands out like one above the other, but there's a lot of good guys, you know. And remember, this sport is a lot about stylistics, also, man.
Yes.
It's a lot about stylistics, and I feel like stylistically I match up well against most of those guys.
Now, I assume it is a goal of yours to be the PFL champion, maybe MVP champion, whatever it's called by then. Any timeline? Like, when do you think you are fighting for that belt?
Maybe 4 or 5 fights from now. Like with this fight, four more, so 5 fights within, maybe around that. I don't know. I don't know because the roster seems to be getting deeper. They keep signing more guys. So obviously, the more people you sign, the longer it's gonna take to get to the belt. Unless you like knock everybody out in the first round, then it's like different, you know, right? But realistic speaking, maybe around that time.
And your brother, Farid, he has not lost in the UFC yet. Is there a world where we can get Javid and Farid as two champions of different promotions at the same time?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Of course, that's the goal right now, and I think it's done once before by the Edward brothers.
Yep.
They were also from England, you know, not too far away from London. So yeah, why not?
Love it, man. Love it, man. And last thing for me is you mentioned American Top Team, obviously. I know right now that it's always crazy in there, but right now you got Pantoja training for Joshua Van Tu. You got Movsar Evloev training for Volkanovski. I'm just wondering, like, what are the vibes like in that gym right now with all these big fights going on?
Honestly, it's not just right now. It's
It's all the
since I
time.
since I got there. Yeah, it's always somebody's fighting for a world title. You know, if not the UFC, it's a PFL world title. If not the PFL, it's like a Octagon or it's Japan, Ryzen. You know,
Yeah.
Sabatello, one of my main training partners, he's the champion over there. He's killing it. And there's always like Japanese guys coming. Man, honestly, training there is like it's so good, you know. And it's not just the fighters; it's the coaches more so that attracted me to that gym. You know, the coaching staff is so good as well. So vibes are always good. Right now, for me, obviously, because Movsar is my friend and he's close to my weight division, so I get to train with him. And also Pantoja is close to my weight division, and Pantoja is one of the nicest guys, you know, and he's one of the best fighters ever, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now, right now, especially, it's very exciting times.
You're training with a Movsar to fight a Movsar. Is that okay? Everyone
Yeah,
okay with
yeah,
that?
yeah. Man, we was joking about that earlier.
I'm just playing around, Javid. But Javid, I appreciate the time, man. Before I get you out of here, anything for all your fans?
No, that's it. Just thank you for your support, and I'm excited in this new journey. And just tune in, watch the fight.
August 22nd, a few days away in Tampa. PFL goes down. Javid Basharat making his highly anticipated debut. Javid, best of luck, best of skill, and hopefully we talk after a win, okay?
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.